What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the mutant Nick Walker, as he has been the main topic of discussion after Pittsburgh Pro guest posing. And the general idea around the bodybuilding community is that most people are disappointed with how he showed up here. And people out there are so shaky over their opinion about Nick Walker that they're even questioning whether Nick Walker is gonna win the New York Pro or not, which is happening in less than a week time now. Now, my opinion on that is pretty clear. I think Nick is gonna win that show pretty handily, because at the end of the day, it is a muscle contest. Yes, shape matters a lot, and the aesthetics have become a big part of the sport, especially in this current era. I understand the guts and bloated midsections. That isn't something that the Pro League is willing to ignore anymore. But I can bet that Nick Walker is gonna show up very composed for the New York Pro. And this criticism is only gonna make him more conscious, especially about his stomach, about his midsection control, when he steps on the stage at the New York Pro. So I have no idea whether it was the crowd or the energy that got to him, because if you look at his past contest appearances, or even the guest posing appearances, he has always had good control over his midsection. He is always very composed. He never lets go of his stomach. So this discussion even got to his trainer and his coach Matt Jensen's recent Q&A, which was done post Pittsburgh Pro. So does anyone really think that his coach is going to change his mind, his opinion on who is winning the New York Pro, based on this one guest posing appearance? Now, I have been saying this over and over again, that for Nick to make a statement like that he's going to be pushing Hadi Choopan and Derek Lesford for the top spot at this upcoming Mr. Olympia in October, he doesn't just need to win the New York Pro. He needs to dominate that lineup. He needs to make that look easy. And I admit that he lost a bit of the sentiment with this guest posing, but there is a lot that can change in 1 week. So after this whole criticism, I believe Nick is gonna come to the New York Pro guns blazing, and he is gonna shut up a lot of his naysayers. Now that being said, him winning this upcoming Mr. Olympia, or even pushing guys like Derek Lesford or Hadi Choopan, that is a different ballgame. I mean, there is a reason a guy like Dexter Jackson said this, that Nick Walker isn't beating Hadi Choopan.
Now, you put Hadi, Derek, Samson out there and rotate in a Nick Walker. How much of a coin toss do you think that could be?
First of all, I don't think Nick can beat Hadi.
Because there is only so much you can do when you don't have the best genetics out there, or the best shape, or the best flow, or when you don't have enough aesthetics. And Nick is up against guys who has tremendous amount of symmetry, and a guy who is really thick, really dense. And the fact that both these guys are working with a legendary coach, whose name is Hani Rambot, who is a master of peaking his athletes to the best of his ability. And it isn't like Nick Walker has small legs, but the fact that his upper body is so damn big, he cannot create that X-frame, that V-taper, which results in him looking not that aesthetic. Plus, because of his wide waist, it seems like he doesn't have a very good flow. So now let's talk about Martin Fitzwater, the guy whose confidence is gonna be sky high after Pittsburgh Pro guest posing. He is finally in the big league, and really props to him. The year that he took off is finally paying off, and this guest posing was a great opportunity that really raised his stocks. I mean, his stocks have never been this high in his entire career. So Martin does have a better shape than Nick Walker, and everyone saw that. But I believe deep inside, even he himself knows what kind of a monster he's going up against at the New York Pro. There were a lot of comments pointing out that they would prefer Martin's physique over Nick, if they have to choose. But this is bodybuilding, and the shows are not judged that way. So Martin is definitely on the right track to be a great bodybuilder in the future. He's gonna continue to build up more size, more muscles, and he is really blessed with some great aesthetics. He already has that thickness, that density to his muscles. Plus, he has an amazing back, very complete top to bottom. He has amazing hamstrings. Plus, the guy is just 27 years old, so he is definitely gonna be a force to be reckoned with in the future. Although he is qualified for the Olympia, which was by winning Detroit Pro. The positive feedback that Martin is getting after this guest posing, this is gonna motivate him to do everything he possibly can to show up even better for the New York Pro than he did for Detroit Pro just a few weeks ago. So he has been putting out more and more updates. In 2022, when he was working with Brent Warren, he was shredded top to bottom, front to back. But back then, he needed more size, he needed more muscles. And we just saw at Detroit Pro, even with all that added size, he was still shredded to the bone. So that is another plus that goes in his favor, that he can bring high level of conditioning every single time. So the New York Pro is gonna be more interesting than people are expecting it to be. So I have Nick Walker winning it comprehensively. What about you guys? Can Tonio Button defend his title against a guy like Nick Walker? Can Quentin Fitzwater bring something totally unexpected to the stage? Can anyone really challenge Nick Walker here? Do let me know in the comments below. Roman Fritz also put out a physique update. So does anyone know whether he got another hip replacement surgery done? Because he says 3 hip replacements, and previously we thought it was 2. Maybe he had another one after 2023 contest season. So almost a full cyborg now. Anyhow, this is Roman, who vows that he's not planning to do 10 shows this year as well. Which, by the way, is a good call. He needs more mass, he needs more thickness in his upper half, because his quads look extremely impressive even now. Even last year. He has great sweep to his legs, which is crazy for a guy who went through multiple hip replacements. So Roman has made some good progress since Texas Pro 2022 to the shows that he did in 2023. He put on a lot of size in his upper half, and that is why he was able to qualify for the Olympia last year. And that was the very first time he stepped on the Olympia stage. And I am willing to bet that Ramon is gonna be shredded once again whenever he decides to step back on the stage this year. That was a constant in all 10 shows that he did last year. The ability to peak almost perfectly in each and every one of the shows. And if you guys followed him closely, he has one of the most insane carbs of protocol ever. But all that being said, I do not see him winning a show in the US, because those shows are all gonna be stacked. He has got to do one of the shows overseas, like he did last year when he won that big man weekend in Spain and qualified for the Olympia. But so far, he hasn't announced what his competition plans are. Behrouz made his IFBB Pro debut back in 2021, and that was the only year he missed on his Olympia qualification. So how is anything gonna go different for Behrouz in terms of his visa problem if they go through that same process? We can only hope for something good this year. So Behrouz is now less than 5 weeks out of Spain Pro, and as always, he is looking pretty damn good right now. Very impressive. So this show is gonna tell us how good Behrouz really is, because he's gonna go up against a guy like Michael Krizo, who is currently top 7 in the world. And both these guys have never competed against each other. Plus, he's also gonna go up against a guy like William Bonac, who is a multiple times Arnold Classic champion. So Behrouz is the only men's open IFBB Pro right now that is currently working with Milos. Well, Milos is also working with Regan Grimes, but Regan is out for all this year. So Milos is gonna be all focused just on Behrouz this year. And out of all the shows that Behrouz did with Milos, he was pretty damn good in each and every single one of those. He has always been really shredded. Conditioning wise, it is gonna be hard for anyone to match Behrouz in any of these shows. And the good thing is that he's gonna do at least 3 of them this year. Spain, Italy, and Dubai Pro as well. And if he manages to step on the Olympia stage this year, that is gonna be 4 shows in 1 calendar year. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. And smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.